My style.
Welcome to the HohO Show, rated the #1 most listened to podcast on Pluto. So join us now as we discuss news, politics, current events, and so much more. So clear the airways and strap in as we defend the Constitution. Because freedom matters.
We are broadcasting live from the Kinda Studio, so welcome to the HohO Show, and as always, I am your host, HohO. If you guys didn't notice right there, I had a complete brain fart as soon as I switched the camera on. I was like, oh, I forgot what to say. Anyway, welcome everybody. Welcome Spreaker, welcome Twitch, YouTube, Mixer, Periscope, and Facebook, and welcome to another lovely Saturday night. Got some weather coming in. Oh, yeah. And I am joined in studio by none other than Ray. What's up,
Hello.
sir? See, I remember.
You remember.
I did. I'm so proud of myself.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
There's
so
going to be a storm coming.
I know. So.
How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Could be better. Could be worse.
Right. So we do have some updates to bring you on the coronavirus. I do have some numbers I want to give you guys right quick, and then we're going to get into some stuff, and then the main topic thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Excuse me. So, yeah, the numbers that I'm wanting to give you guys, and these are updated as in like maybe not even an hour ago that I pulled these numbers and updated them. Mm-hmm. We'll go with that.
Sure.
So, for the global
Statistics.
those things, we've got 664,872 total confirmed infected. 30,658 total deaths. 144,123 total confirmed in recovery, with a total of 23,914 in that are serious. What that looks like percentages, we've got 4.61% death rate, 21.68% recovered, and 3.6% serious. Okay, now, USA, as in the USA, I like saying USA because for me it's fun. I like saying USA. For us, I was just checking something. Sorry, hold on. Let me get back to it. I burped, but not in the microphone. Proud of myself. Anyway, USA, we've got 121,056 total, 2,042 total death rate or deaths. 2,448 recovery, 2,234 total serious, and that is 1.69% death rate, 2.02% recovery, and 1.85% serious of those that have had it. Now, here's the thing. I've got some exciting news. I can give you guys more if you guys want. Just let me know up in the chat. USA, that's right. And welcome Ashley over there in YouTube land. Good to see you. So I tell you what, guys, I do have an awesome thing that I just read, and this was released earlier today. Okay, and I will show you this headline, and you guys can get these headlines as well if you go on over to thehohoshow.com. Just click on that newsfeed tab, and there you'll see my magazines on Flipboard, and all the articles that I use, that's where you can find those. So definitely check those out. You guys can, look at those and view them and read them and whatnot. So This article is from The Blaze. U.S. company announces a major breakthrough in coronavirus testing, and this is a game changer. I was looking through this. Okay, so the FDA issued an emergency use authorization to grant Abbott Labs on Friday for a 5-minute coronavirus test that could be arriving to the nation's urgent care clinics as early as next week. And they are producing up to 50,000 tests that they're actually saying like daily. Even if you scroll down on this, there's like I forgot. There's this little button right here you got to press. The one that says read more, you got to press that one. And it says, like, where did that go? It's in here. It's
Words.
like daily. Yeah, words, all kinds of them. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? It's in here. But anyway, that's amazing, guys. That is amazing. A 5-minute test that will be available as early as next week. And they already, they're looking to do like producing 50,000 of these things a day. That's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, there it is. 50. Yeah, I found it. Let me see. See, if you look at my mouse, whoa, the Illinois-based manufacturer also said it expects the equipment to deliver up to 50,000 tests per day and will be ramping up the manufacturing in the coming weeks, according to USA Today. So yes, that's exciting news, guys. That really is. That's exciting news. Now, here's the thing I want to let you guys in on, okay? I want to give you a secret. And I'm telling you this so you don't freak out. I don't want you guys to freak out, You're going to see the numbers of total confirmed skyrocket, okay?
Right.
As more and more tests become available, as these tests become available, you're going to see the number of confirmed skyrocket. But the numbers I want you guys to focus on, okay, isn't necessarily the total confirmed cases. I want you to focus on the death rate. I want you to focus on the serious. Okay, those are the two ones that I want you guys to really focus on because we've known this for a long time. The total confirmed, we don't know what that is because there's a lot of people whom, by everything logical says, they've had it. Have you had it?
Probably.
I know several people that have had it. Unconfirmed, but by all logic, looking at what's those things called? The symptoms and how sick they were, yeah, they probably had it.
Yeah, because back in December, I was on hiatus from the show for a while. And
Oh yeah. You were quite sick.
yeah.
And most people are saying the same thing. It's the sickest I have ever been. So I mean, I don't really want you guys to focus so much on the total confirmed cases, but look at the death rate. The amount of deaths. Look at that. Look at the percentage of that. Look at the serious. Look at the recovery, because really the serious and the death rate isn't going to fluctuate as fast and go as high as what the total confirmed cases. Okay, so I just want you guys to pay attention to that. Really, I really do.
Right, because
So-
that doesn't mean that the virus is spreading. It's just that more testing is available, so you're going to see those numbers.
Exactly. You're going to see those numbers change. Okay, you're going to see those numbers change. So that's on that end, and I read that and I was like, holy crap, that's pretty freaking cool.
I had a thought about that too,
What's that?
and I haven't delved into it today, but I might look at it later. Just a tidbit is Abbott Labs is doing all these testing. Just made me wonder if it's a private corporation doing that, or is it on a stock market? And if so, how much has their stock gone up since that they got that bid to do that?
Right.
And if it is a stock company, granted I don't have a lot of cash, but man, if it is, and how would you like to be the one to throw a chunk of change into that?
Mm-hmm. You got that right. Let's see here, and guys, I tell you what, I really do not have a lot of articles on this one. Like I've only got 7 articles on the I've only got 7. That's it. But a lot of what we're going to talk about today isn't actually this stuff. we're talking about what the title says that we're talking about. And we are going to get into that. There's a couple things I want to dive into first before we get there. The next thing I'm wanting to get into a little bit is this article right here. This article says, as soon as it pulls back up again, this one's from the Daily Wire. And it says, your stimulus check, who will get it and when? And I know we did talk about this, was it the last show or the show before that? It was either 2020, a great year, or it was Kung Flu virus. I don't remember which we talked about this. I'm liking the ad. The ad's pretty. It's very nice. Sorry, I'll just get off of that now. But the article... the article breaks down, again, it puts in there the $2.2 trillion stimulus, and there is a lot of crap. And Ray, I know you can attest to this too.
Right.
There's a lot of crap that they threw in there because, again, you had Nancy Pelosi stepping in there, throwing her 2 cents in, saying, no, we're not going to do anything about this because, it's just a bailout for major corporations and whatnot. And it's like, whatever. Go back home. Go back to the bar, Nancy. It's okay. We got this. Finally, they, after putting a bunch of stuff in, and I guess there was a bunch of stuff she was wanting to put in there.
Right.
Left-wing agenda stuff, okay? And this thing shows, okay, well, it's not in this article, actually. Let me go to the other article that has got some of this stuff in here. Nope, that one's not it.
Like $300 million to PBS on Sesame Street. I don't know if that actually made it in the final draft, but I know that was one of the...
What was it?
$300 million to PBS in Sesame Street.
Oh, right. And like $50,000 to the Kennedy Center?
$30 million.
$30 million?
Yeah.
That's close.
Yeah, a little bit.
But...
Just a lot of that kind of stuff. I mean, funding for... I know in the original draft they had hundreds of millions for funding of Planned Parenthood and abortions and stuff like that. I don't know if that made it in the final draft or not, but it might surprise me.
And here's the thing, too. Prior to them voting on this, and they voted on this, I believe, yesterday. Prior to them voting on it, the bill had not been made public. So you, me, anybody, none of us could actually read it. The people could not read what was in this bill. Okay, this was another Obamacare bill. You got to vote on it in order to find out what's in it. That's kind of what they did on this. Very irritating to me. But this article from the Daily Signal, it says little of Pelosi's wish list made it into COVID-19 relief bill. But some of the things that it does point out didn't make it. Mandatory diversity on corporate boards and in banks. What does diversity on the corporate level have anything to do with COVID-19?
Nothing.
Exactly. Required airlines to disclose and reduce emissions. And the date that I heard that they put on that was 2025. Mandated that states allow voting by mail. Increased union bargaining tool. Expanded tax credits for wind and solar power. Prohibiting universities from disclosing the citizenship status of their students. And it provided a bailout for some private pensions. Now, here was one thing that I previously was honestly not aware of, okay? And somebody else brought this to light, and I read it on Facebook, so it has to be true. That was...
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Dude, I love that commercial. I really do. I laughed so hard when I laughed. I laughed really hard. And yes, I just touched my T-zone, and I was driving a friend of mine nuts because she's all like... I was driving her nuts by that stuff. Oh my God, it was so worth it though. I was like, I'm going to flick a burger at you. And welcome, Alex over there in Spreaker land. What is up? He says, what's up, Jared and Ray? Not much. We're just having a good old time over here, waiting for your show to come on too. And yeah, he unconfirmed yet. Unconfirmed. I can't say that. Unconfirmed. Anyway, so, just a lot of stuff that made it in its way. And I don't know what all they was able to squeeze into this. I really don't. I'm hoping that we find out sooner rather than later. But as I was talking earlier, one of the things that I heard was that the $1,200 that an individual, he says, meh. The $1,200 that I heard that is going to the individual, okay? Individual, single, not married. There's all kinds of other numbers out there too. I mean, there's a whole graph I even showed you guys on like a couple shows ago. And all kinds of numbers in there. And there's a lot of those numbers on this other one, your stimulus check, who gets it, and whatnot. So if you guys want to check that out, head to thehohoshow.com, click on the newsfeed tab, and then today's show, it's on there by the day and the title. Check that out. But this isn't a check that they're just giving you. This $1,200 is nothing more than an advance on your next year's taxes. Did you guys realize that? Did you realize that?
Oh, no, it was going to screw us one way or another.
Yeah, I mean, I did not realize that. My assumption was, and yes, I assumed, I know what that means. It makes an ass out of you and umption. That's why assumption is a bad thing. But I did not know that they were doing this as a loan. I thought this was a payout. You know, they're just going to give it to you and be done with it. And because they're nice people, you know, and I know. But the thing, I'm like, I got to admit, you know, and this was the thing that we were talking a little bit about off air, you know, is this is nothing like, you know, the bailouts that was done under the Obama administration, you know, with like plants like, you know, Chevy. Okay. This wasn't from a company that did very poor managing, giving their top executives a butt ton of bonus money. No, this didn't have anything to do with that. This is a government mandated shutdown. You know, Alex says the House always wins. You're right. And they do, you know, but this was a government mandated shutdown. It is not my fault nor the company's fault that people are told to stay home. Okay. This is government mandated. People wanting to go back to work. People are stir crazy. People want to go to work. They want to go to school. They want to graduate. They want to do all that other kind of good stuff. And I'm having a hard time speaking again. But they're wanting to. You know, they're wanting to go back to work. They're wanting to start doing their jobs again. People are getting stir crazy. We're not used to this being shut in type of stuff, you know. So businesses are closing down by no fault of their own. I'm not like the grasshopper in that cartoon, you know. Oh, the world owes me a living. You remember that cartoon?
No.
The ants and the grasshopper and
no. No.
You see what I work with here? You see that?
But at least I know what MASH is. You know, unlike some of our friends, you know.
Dude, I know what MASH is.
I know what MASH is too, but some people we know don't know what MASH is.
Well, this is true. We won't mention any names.
No.
Anyway.
But you're right. They'll get you one way or another. You know, they'll, like usual, government makes it look good on one side until it gets to the other side, and then reality sets in. And yeah, we forgot to tell you about this part of it.
Right. And I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not surprised. You know, not surprised at all. But I mean, it's by no fault of our own. And I don't want to sound like, you know, oh, the government owes it to me because they forced us into this. But in a matter of speaking, it's like, okay, guys, look, either cut my taxes because I shouldn't be paying that much in taxes anyway, just to, you know, give 100 plus stinking companies bailout money and foreign aid and everything else. And
yeah,
they can't rein in their spending. Instead, they want to charge it. So, you know, that, you know, again, I got a thing for this. Where's that happen? But this is okay. Yeah. I love that. I played that for him, and he was like, "I don't see what's so funny about that." I'm like, "Dude, it's funny." Anyway, that was Brandon, host of the Machine Radio Show, having issues talking. We're both the same on that. We have a lot of issues talking. So anyway, English, dude. I tell you what, English is a first language. It's difficult, guys. Let me tell you, it's hard sometimes. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that it's nothing more than a cash advance or a check advance on next year's taxes. I'm not surprised. I wish it wasn't, but I'm not surprised. Not surprised at all. Okay, guys. So, is there anything else we need to cover on here before we, get into the true topic of conversation this evening?
A couple little things on COVID-19.
Okay.
Did you see the article that President Trump is considering a total lockdown in New York, Connecticut, and I think one other state up near it, and using Army reservists as well? That just came out today too.
I've heard that there were talks about it because, over half of the cases in the U.S. are out of basically New York City.
Right.
Just over half of all the cases in the U.S. So, I heard that they were doing some real talks and, doing something, but I hadn't heard anything on what they were actually going to be doing.
Right. So that's something to watch out for there. A little bit of good news since last week. And, I was talking with you, I was talking to Alex Tuesday night in chat. The governor of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker, has moved the Illinois tax date to July 15th, just like the federal. So that's a big relief for a lot of people there.
There was a lot of confusion on that whenever you were talking about that. And with your post on Facebook, a lot of people were like, dude, it's already been changed. And they're thinking on the federal level. It's like, yes, the federal level already got pushed back, but that was on Illinois tax, not federal tax.
Right.
So there was a lot of confusion on that. And I understand it, but it's like, dude, click it open and read something in a second. It's just, I've made those same type of mistakes. It happens.
So that was a little bit of good news. So
yeah. So, all right, guys, we are going to take a quick break, and you guys will see. You guys will see something, and then we're going to be going into the main topic of conversation this evening, and that is talking about. You see, during this whole impeachment and with COVID-19, there was a bunch of stuff that happened. Okay, and this was just one of those articles that, at least here, got drowned out either by life, being out in the truck, not being able to do a show, or everything else that had been going on. And I've been wanting to revisit and actually get into and dive into this topic a little bit. So that's what we're going to do. And just on the other side of the break. So just a couple minutes, ladies and gents, and I will be right back. Have you ever had an ailment that a normal over-the-counter remedy just couldn't fight? If this is the case, then boy, have I got the solution for you. Tussin. That's right, Tussin. Cough? Tussin. Cold? Tussin. Runny nose? Tussin. Itchy watery eyes? Tussin. Broken leg? Tussin. Tussin is the ultimate cure-all, guaranteed to stop anything that ails you. Tussin. Available wherever OTCs are sold. All right, so welcome back to the HoHo Show. So, yeah, there was a something I was going to say, and I totally forgot what that was.
Squirrel.
Oh yeah, I had a squirrel moment. So yeah, again, as I was saying before the break, you know, some issues, some things that we hadn't talked about, and we're going to talk about that, and that is Brexit, the EU, and the deep state. And I truly do have some numbers to share with you guys that is absolutely staggering. I mean, staggering. Is it not, some of these numbers that I got?
Very staggering.
Yeah. Like, I staggered. That's how staggering they were.
He was.
I did. It was, whew. Anyway. So, let's start with Brexit. So, in order to do this one, you know, the EU and whatnot. So, this kind of starts with a little bit of a history lesson, okay? With World War I and World War II, one of the things that a lot of the leaders kind of decided upon was the best way to keep World War III from happening is to combine and link, in a way, countries' economies, okay? Like Russia, China, the U.S., okay? That's what that's what they wanted to do in order to, you know, kind of lessen the possibility for World War III. Okay, in the mindset behind that, or at least the reasoning behind that was, you know, let's say the U.S. attacking China, we're not going to do that considering our economies are linked, and by doing that, that would force, you know, a depression on ourselves. That's why they did that, you know, was to eliminate risk for World War III, okay? And that was the heart behind the European Union, okay, EU. So we were listening to an interview the other day. Well, today he was, and me, like, I don't know, it was over my trip at some point in time last week. I listened to an interview on The Verdict with Ted Cruz. Awesome podcast, by the way. I definitely recommend that one. Daily Wire production type of thing. So 2 thumbs up. And there was a guy on there, I think his name was Nigel or something. I don't know. Nigel's a pretty popular, you know, British name. So we'll just call the guy Nigel. So Nigel was talking. And he was like, you know, the EU was supposed to be a linking of the European countries' economy, but it ended up being more than that. It ended up being a political union, not just an economic one, okay?
Right.
And he even said on here, now this is where the irony comes in, because this is, I mean, how much irony is really in this story?
A lot.
Yeah, this thing is full of irony. Okay, you guys think back, you know, to like the Revolutionary War, our reasons for leaving, some of the things that we were upset about, you know, the Declaration of Independence, and then listen to what had happened, okay? So you have Nigel, you know, who's complaining about things in the EU. You know, he's upset because, or at least the entirety of the country is upset because what was supposed to be a union of economies ended up being a political union, and they were being controlled by people that they had no power over, people that they didn't elect, people that weren't beholden to them and the other countries they were controlling. And in like a distant, not really a distant, far off land, but it wasn't being done locally. It was being done somewhere else. Aha. Mm-hmm. Irony. Mm-hmm. Because wasn't that one of our beefs during the revolution, for the Revolutionary War. We didn't like being controlled by people whom we didn't have any control over, who weren't subservient to us, and people whom were in a far off land that they didn't care about us.
Right.
That's what one of our beefs was. And here they are breaking away from the EU for the same reason we broke away from them. just
Karma.
Throwing that out. Yeah. Karma, just irony, amazing irony. Okay. Hey, what was funny was not funny, funny, pathetic, actually, is because listening to, Ted Cruz, he didn't even understand the irony in that himself, or at least if he did, he didn't voice it.
Right.
Okay. Now, I'm going to give you guys some numbers, and these are staggering, stinking numbers. Okay. Between the years of 1995 and 2016, okay, so that is 21 years?
Yes.
31 years.
21.
21 years. Yeah. So in that 21-year time frame, I can count. What is up, Mr. Hatman Xbox? How you doing over there in Spreakerland? Good to see you. And by the way, Lewis, welcome. I seen you pop in there as soon as we went to break. And yeah, so welcome. Anyway, here's some numbers for you guys, okay? The laws and regulation. That's what I'm talking about right here, okay? Between laws and regulations, there was a total of 93,173 that were written in that 21-year time frame, okay? 4,274 of those were laws. 88,899 of those were regulations.
That's a lot.
And I already figured in the percentages of that. 4.59% were laws. 95.41% was regulations. Now, guys, these are regulations that control our lives. These are regulation that carries the weight of law as if they were law. And these laws were written not by Congress, people whom are elected by we the people, whom are beholden to us, whom are supposed to listen to us and represent us. No, these were 95.41% were regulations that were written by the deep state, by people whom were hired. They're supposed to work at the pleasure of the president, but they don't. I mean, these are, the EPA, the Department of Regulation. That's all of them. The Department of Education, Department of Transportation. These are all these 100 plus, department regulation, federal, executive branch things. They're the ones who are writing all these. 95.41% of the rules and laws that you have to abide by every single day of your life in that 21-year period were written by people who weren't elected by you.
It's a lot.
Those are staggering numbers. Those are absolutely staggering numbers. And basically is about what that amounts to is, and I'm looking at the numbers on here. Every single year you're talking a minimum. Most of them are 4 plus thousand, almost 5,000 a year. 2004, it was a little less, just right there at like 4,000. 2004, 2005. The lowest year it looks like was, let's see, where's that one at? Yeah, there we go. 2015, 3,410 regulations that was written. The highest one was 4,899. No, 4,973. The highest one I seen in that 21-year time frame. That's ridiculous, guys. That's ridiculous. Does that irritate you yet? Are you angry about that? That everything that you're ruled by is actually done by regulations. not by Congress, not by people who are supposed to be writing the laws. You know, what say you? What say you, Ray? And hello, Christine Conti over there in Spreakerland. How you doing? Good to see you.
Some of those regulations, too, from what I've heard, is, you know, some, not all, done by corporations themselves, lawyers from corporations, people with special interest in, you know, makes their segment of life better. You know, a lot of wheeling and dealing behind the scenes, and
that's laws too, though. I mean, that's not just regulations. That's laws. I mean,
right.
Why do you think $30 million went to the Kennedy Center?
Right.
You know, I mean, those are laws too. That's not just regulation. But I mean, you're right though. You know, because it's these special interest groups, these corporations, these lobbyists that, truth be told, these are the ones who are writing most of the laws and the regulations out there anyway. I mean, think about it, 4,000 plus pages. No, how many pages was this most recent bill? Was it 4,000 pages or was it like 2,000 or something?
I can't remember. I just know it was quite
a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. There wasn't a person sitting at a computer that typed that up in the course of a month. Excuse me. You just tooted, didn't you?
No, but I sneezed.
I heard a...
No.
No?
No.
Oh, wow.
I wish. Because that would have been a snart. Snart?
Well, that just depends, though. Anyway,
Literally.
we're not... Anywho. So, yeah, most of these are being written by, by the executive branch, okay? That's what President Trump and other presidents, President Trump in general, talking about draining the swamp. That's what he's talking about when he's talking about draining the swamp. He's talking about removing some of those regulations and cutting back on the size and scope of government. That's what they're talking about. Why? Because it's not the executive branch's job to write laws. The executive branch's job is to execute the laws. The FBI, the CIA, the Attorney General, these are legitimate departments of the executive branch. The EPA? No. The Department of Education? No. We were doing just fine before the Department of Education was founded back in 1978. We were doing just fine before then. Ever since then, our quality of education has went down.
Yep.
Every year since 1978, when the Department of Education was founded, it's gone down. And all they want to do is throw more money at it. Oh, make it rain. Doesn't do any good. Yes, I just did that. Holy crap. And I didn't do it very well either. Obviously, I did not do that very good. Christine says it was raining here in the Bronx, New York, with sirens going all day. Whew, staying home, staying safe. Yeah, it's definitely a good thing to do. Yeah, we got some storms, tornadoes. There was already a tornado down in Arkansas.
Yeah, Jonesboro, Arkansas. Massive tornado tore it up.
It's Arkansas.
Arkansas?
It's Arkansas. Not your Kansas. It's Arkansas. Exactly.
Okay.
That's how I pronounce things. I mean, I'm weird like that. So yeah, staying inside, staying safe. We got some coming this way, some good storms and whatnot. So yeah, it's yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Regulations.
Back to those.
How dare you?
had to throw something at you, So, but yeah, it's not the executive branch's job to be writing those. These are things that are supposed to be done by the representatives. Okay, by the representatives. And there was one other thing I was wanting to talk about in dealing with this whole, EU, European Union, the Brexit, that kind of stuff. You see, here's what a lot of people don't understand. I'm going to give you guys a quick civics class here. Okay, the United States of America is the Federation. Just like Star Trek. It's the Federation.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, I threw Star Trek in there. It's the Federation of Planets. That's what we are, because Canada is a country. What's another name for a country? A state. What's California? A state. It's a country. California is a country. New York is a country. Illinois is a country. And yes, I said Illinois. I throw the S in there.
What about Arkansas?
Arkansas is a state. Kansas is a state. You know, all these 50 of them. There's 50 of them, guys. If you didn't know, there's 50 of them. They're all countries. The House and the Senate were different. In fact, whenever our country was founded, our federation was founded, the senators were appointed by the governors. Why? Because, and there were two per each state, giving each state, each country in the federation, an equal voice. Population is what they consider for the House of Representatives, which is why there are more representatives in California than Rhode Island. You know, because population difference, there you go. That's why they did that. But each state had an equal voice in the federation. Somebody was like, that's ridiculous. I'm like, really? If you're Rhode Island, why would you join a federation that your voice doesn't mean anything?
Right.
It's like, well, I was like, no. The state, the country of Rhode Island. Why would you join a federation when your word doesn't mean jack? I mean, you would basically be joining it just to be overruled and outnumbered every single time because your voice wouldn't mean anything. That's why the Senate was set up the way that it was. That's why it was 2 per state. That's why the Electoral College is set up the way that it is. So that this way, every single state has an equal, relative equal voice. That is not just drowned out. And everything is done from 3 cities across it.
Right.
I'm not doing that again. I did it twice. It was enough. But that's what it amounts to. Oh, wow. Linda put in here that we will be continuing to get snow for several days. Holy crap.
Ooh.
Some in Idaho want to shut the borders to Washington State. Yeah, and hello, Doug, over there in Spreakerland. How you doing? Rhode Island is shutting their borders to New Yorkers using National Guard to enforce. Really? Wow. I did not hear that. Did you hear that?
New York, yeah.
Rhode Island shutting their borders to New Yorkers using the National Guard to enforce it. Wow. I hadn't heard that one, Christine. Thank you. So, but that's the importance, and that's just some of those things that, you know, I tell you guys what, I really was unpleased whenever, whenever the whole finding out the history and the reason behind how the Senate, how they were appointed by the governors, and then it went to a popular vote. I'm having a hard time speaking today, but whenever it went to a popular vote, I'm like, dude, you just eliminated the state's ability to have any say in the government. I was like, that's kind of bogus. Right. Knowing what the U.S. of A is, I was like, that's actually pretty bogus. You know, I mean, I know why they did it, but it's bogus. I mean, if I had heard that was even coming up for a vote, I would have yanked the senator out immediately. And I'd have put somebody in place and that was bogus. That was definitely bogus. Let's see here. What else we got? There was that deep state. Yeah. You got anything else you want to add to that?
No, there's just a lot of players behind the scene making a lot of rules and regulations and deciding your life, that people don't know about. And it's totally bogus. People being fined for new EPA rules and stuff and this and that. And they're being fined by people that, don't have really the authority to make law. Right.
Doug put in here, I was on the subway every day when this thing hit New York. You're talking about the coronavirus outbreak? I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. Yeah, and I've been in the truck going everywhere. I've gone out to New York. I've been up in Canada. I've been over in Texas. Oh, yeah, you cover your mouth, Ray. You cover your face up. Oh, yeah, I've kind of been everywhere. I'm actually going to be honest with you guys. I would be surprised if I don't end up getting it. Just being honest with you. No, you get away from me. So, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
That's all you got?
He said he witnessed the masking of New York City. Yeah, I really didn't have much. I mean, most everything on there was, coronavirus, and there really wasn't much in the news cycle. AOC's going crazy.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was new.
I mean, going or gone. I mean, I'm not sure which one would be the more fitting one for her. I don't know. But yeah.
Speaking of the lockdown in New York and Connecticut and all that stuff that they're talking about, with troops and everything, the first thing that came into my mind was the movie The Siege. Do you remember that movie? It was more about a terrorist lockdown of New York. Bruce.
Okay. I'm thinking Under Siege.
Not Under
Different
Siege.
movie.
The Siege. Bruce Willis was in it. He was the corrupt general that was in charge of it, and the Denzel Washington was the good FBI guy.
Okay, I don't remember this movie at all.
Okay, we got a movie to watch then.
Yeah.
It was a good movie. It was more about terrorism and stuff, but they moved the troops in to lock down the city to where nobody can get in and get out. And as soon as I seen that article this morning, that's the first thing that popped in my mind. Just random thought.
But honestly, though, I mean, that's the thing. If they're going to continue this quarantine and shutting down the businesses and everything else, I tell you what. Now, honestly, all right, a buddy of mine was in. Well, okay, I went through Toronto, up there in Ontario. Another buddy of mine went through Dallas, Texas. Another buddy of mine went through New York, the Bronx and Queens, just this past week. Went through the Bronx and Queens, New York, like at 11 o'clock a.m. He said he didn't hardly run into any traffic whatsoever until he got basically to the other side of New York. That's unheard of. I've been on that road that he was on, and holy crap, yeah. Buddy of mine that was in, Dallas, Texas. I've been there just a few weeks before, and yeah, I mean, it's nothing like the amount of traffic there should be. There usually is, okay? And then me going through Toronto, which is like, I'm pretty sure it's like the biggest city up in Canada, okay? Granted, not near the amount of traffic that there usually is, but there was still way more car traffic than what there should have been. Because Toronto was under lockdown too. I got a notification on my phone whenever I was like almost to Woodstock. It's like, hey, you're supposed to be locked down. I'm like, oh, yeah, we'll just ignore that. I was passing through, man. They almost didn't unload me whenever I got to the place I went to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they were like, he's American. What are we supposed to do? It's like, yeah, we need what he's got, but I don't want to unload him. He's from America. He's contaminated. They're playing cooties down there in the U.S., and I don't want cooties. Biggest game of cooties we've ever played here in the U.S.
Or were you messing with them and like coughing as you were pulling up? Or
No, I didn't want to get kicked out. They don't play games, man. I wouldn't play that kind of game. Dude, have you heard about them games that people, like going up to or like right next to random strangers in a grocery store and coughing on them?
Yes. They were coughing on produce. One lady coughed on a bunch of produce and they had to throw like $35,000 of produce away.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I tell you what, game or not, I don't care. You do that to me, I'm punching your face.
They're charging people with felonies if they do that.
Exactly.
Now.
That's assault.
Yes.
If you feel spray on you from somebody coughing, fake or not, contaminated or not, I don't care. That's still assault. It's the same as spitting on somebody. That's ridiculous. People grow up. Holy crap, This ain't the time to be playing those kind of games. People are scared. This ain't the time to be playing those kind of games.
Right.
No, wait. Knife hand. Sorry. Ow. Did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Holy crap.
That's what you get for playing games.
That's what I get for knife handing the camera. There, I didn't pop that time. Holy crap, that hurt.
That's funny.
No, it's not. It was horrible. Well, guys, we really ain't got nothing else. I'm pretty well done. I ain't got any more.
D-U-N?
That was so funny. Huh?
D-U-N? You're done?
D-U-N, done. Yeah. So if you guys actually got anything to add, throw that up in the chat. Otherwise, you guys can give me a call. We'll keep it open for random conversation for a few more minutes, and then we're going to go bye-bye.
What's that phone number?
That phone number is 217-965-6133. Again, that number is 1217 for international callers, 965-6133. And yeah, I just do that little hiccup in there. Not a hiccup. That was different.
How's stinkpickle.com doing?
Oh, it's a good website, you know.
Website?
Yeah. It's not spelled right, though. And then there's torchedanus.com. That's a good one.
I'm afraid to ask about that.
Honestly, I bought the domain. I bought the website. That was it. Christine put in here, idiots have been licking subway poles that people hold. And I seen video of idiot licking necessities in a pharmacy. Holy crap. Are you kidding me?
There was the toilet seat lick challenge too. That kid actually caught it and apologized for doing that. But
there was somebody that did it in, some gal got caught in licking the toilet seat in a public woman's restroom. Yeah. The new Tide Pod challenge now is licking toilet seats and licking. What was the other one that people were licking? Like the challenge, like the Tide Pod challenge. That was a long time ago. That's how we got Corona here in the U.S. anyway.
Yeah. I mean, something recent.
Yeah. Licking toilet seats and licking something else. I mean, it actually might have been like, Subway holder upper poles, stripper poles. No, holder upper. The thing, the poles. And welcome, Rob, over there in Facebook land. Hearing about total darkness 10 days in April. Oh, isn't there like an eclipse coming up soon?
Don't know.
Is that in April?
Not sure.
I don't know. Linda said, I've heard of licking door handles, and that might have been what it was. Toilet seats and door handles.
Shouldn't be licking anything.
What's wrong with being a window licker? Or a cat? I mean...
Don't lick your cat.
It's just, why not, though? I mean, if the cat licks me first, it's fair game. I'm just saying. You're
not right, dude.
I know. All right, guys. Well, that's it. That's all we've got. That's it. Y'all have yourself a wonderful day. Thank you all for joining, being part of the weirdness and the craziness. So, yeah, you got anything else to add?
No, just if you're in the Midwest, just keep your weather radio handy because you never know what might come up tonight.
Oh, yeah. All right, guys. Good night. Sleep tight. And if them bed bugs bite, well, by golly, bite them back. Till next time. This has been The HoHo Show. For more information, you can head to thehohoshow.com. And for the merchandise store, you can head on over to stinkpickle.com. That is stinkpickle.com. Until next time,